Hi everybody, this is the video tutorial companion to the KeLibu Flower Fairy outfit and Flower Fairy shoes. I'm going to be showing you how to heat seal the petals for the skirt, the leaves for the bodice, and the leaves for the shoes. The method's the same for all three, so I'm going to be demonstrating on a petal, but use the same method for all of them. First thing I want to talk to you about is safety. You need a nice flat level surface that you can work on and something that's protected. I've just got my cutting mat down here. That works great. Secondly, I would recommend that you do this inside somewhere because if you're outside and you have any breeze whatsoever, that can create a fire hazard with the flame blowing around, so you don't want that. You need to have your windows open so that you're properly ventilated and you're not breathing in the fumes from the synthetic fabric melting. You also need some safety equipment. Now, you can either have a fire extinguisher handy, or if you don't have a fire extinguisher on hand, a bowl of water works great. And you need this just in case you set your fabric on fire. You want to be able to douse it quickly so you don't set anything else on fire. If you want to be ultra safe, you can use some safety goggles or safety glasses. And you can also purchase an N95 mask. They sell these at hardware stores, and I think I got mine at Walmart. This will just help protect you from the fumes. I'm not going to be using one today because you won't be able to hear me for the video. And I've got all my windows open here, so I feel like I've got proper ventilation. Another important thing to consider is that you want to make sure that you don't have any long or dangling sleeves. Those could accidentally end up in the flame and end up catching you on fire, which you do not want. Ditto for any jewelry or anything else hanging. You want to have everything nice and close to your body so that there's no chance of anything getting set on fire. My preferred method for doing this is to use a tea light, and the reason is that they're nice and low and stable when they're on a flat surface, and then you can use both hands to manipulate the fabric. I have done it with lighters before, but the lighters get hot and hard to hold, and then you're limited to using one hand to manipulate the fabric, so it is easier if you use a candle, and then you can do two. You could also use a pillar candle. I wouldn't recommend using a taper because they're not as stable. However, I am going to be showing you the heat sealing using a taper because unfortunately the flame doesn't show up well on video if I'm using a pillar candle or a tea light. So if you're wondering why I'm using a taper when I'm telling you not to, that's the reason, just so you can see the flame and how close I'm getting the edge of the fabric to it. So I'm just going to get my candle set up and then we're going to start. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you is that I've got some threads hanging here, and I'm going to go ahead and snip those. If you have any loose threads or thread you use to sew the leaves, you need to take those off, otherwise they will burst into flames. So then using both your hands, you want to get the petal or the leaf close to the flame but not actually in it. And if you feel there's now a hard ridge on the edge, and that means that you've sealed the fabric. So using both hands, you can just go along and do it. And if you pull the fabric slightly while you're doing this, you get a nice curly effect on the edge. So just use both your hands, rotate it around, adjust when you need to. Just try and move it in a smooth motion, and keep going all the way around here. With some fabrics like chiffon, it can actually curl up quite a bit more than you want. So in that case, all you have to do is bring it back into the flame and just pull gently, and it'll straighten out somewhat. Okay, so there you go. That's the completely heat sealed petal, and it's ready to move on to the next stage.